All right, this is Brent Porcio, TopVelocity.net, and we're going to do another velocity quick tip today. So on this quick tip, we're going to cover the load position. Now, if there's a great video out there I did on called the Pitching 101, it's really the, if you want to learn the 3X mechanics without buying the program, it's out there for you guys. You'll actually see it in the forums under mechanics analysis. It'll say learn 3X mechanics. So the load position is a component in 3X mechanics. That's the point after the leg lift, just before the launch. Now, I really believe in the 3X mechanics, or the 3X approach believes that your stride is here to build power. So the more power we can build, and then convert that power at front foot strike, then the harder we throw. And it's really been effective and it really works. So if you believe in it, this is going to help you develop more power from the load position. Now, you'll hear me talk about it a lot in the mechanics and analysis that I do for pitchers. Now, when you get into that load position, so it's after leg lift, and you're starting to build speed down that mound, and you still have flexion on your drive leg, this is going to cover the importance of flexion. Now, this is not, to get to the load, you definitely don't want to lift and squat and then reach out. We have to, from the beginning, build speed, as much speed, and accelerate that speed to our front. So if we are accelerating that speed and we're not focusing on that, and we're just squatting and then going forward, that really works against that principle or that understanding that if we are going to build as much power as we can through our stride, we have to be accelerating. So the lifting and squatting and then moving forward, that would not be an acceleration. That would be a start, a slow down, and then accelerate again. So I'm very much against that kind of lift and squat, or that kind of collapsing. That's very much not a good way to implement the 3X mechanics. The most effective way is, as your lift leg is coming down, your body's starting to accelerate at that point and move forward. Okay, so flexion, this velocity quick tip is going to really cover flexion. Flexion is when those three joints, the ankle, knee, and hip flexor, drop down or bend down or squat down. That's important because one of the big components in why it's called 3X pitching is because 3X is triple extension. So for us to generate power, we can do it most effectively through triple extension, which is the extension of the ankle, knee, and hip flexor. So that's extension. So before extension, we must have flexion. So flexion is very important in the 3X component. Just like if I'm trying to dunk a basketball or jump as high as I can, I'm not going to do it with my knees straight. Then I'm just pushing, I'm extending only my ankle, and I'm not going to go up high. I have to build flexion and then move into extension. But of course, there's a sweet spot. If we build too much flexion, then our body can't move ourselves. We put our mobility into a position where it's not strong. Okay, so, and if we don't bend enough, then we can't get enough power into the vertical movement. And this is a linear movement, so it's the same thing. So flexion is important, and it's a hard concept to understand. So the same thing, if we build too much flexion into the load, our mobility, if we don't have strength to that range of motion, we're going to collapse. Now, that should also tell you the reason guys out of my program throw harder is because not only do they learn these mechanics effectively through the throwing program, but the strength and conditioning program actually builds more power through that mobility. The ability for us to get more flexion so we can create more extension, but to have the strength and power to move through that range of motion is really what amps us up in velocity and explosiveness as an athlete. So you're going to have to find your sweet spot. But what I find is a lot of guys, because they don't have leg strength, they don't get a lot of flexion. They just have maybe just as their legs coming down, that's about all they put into it. So as far as triple extension, you're not going to have much to work off, just like you don't have much if that was all the flexion you used to jump up. You look at those basketball players that can fly, and when they hit the ground before they jump, their butts are down and they're going up. I mean, their butts are down low because those guys are strong and they're explosive. So you might have more in you. So try it. But if not, you're going to have to get into the weight room and develop that explosive power. So you want to test out where your flexion is most effective. So as you're moving into the load, make sure your hips are moving forward, but try adding a little more flexion and see if that adds to your velocity, and I guarantee it will. A lot of my guys, when we use the radar gun, you should watch the quick tip on the radar gun, but when we use the radar gun to tell us where we are, just to see if we're making changes in velocity, I'll sit there with the gun, and I'll get them to get more flexion, and I've seen up to 5 miles an hour right off the bat in velocity because they got more flexion before triple extension. Now, some guys, I'll get them, they'll get more flexion, they'll go too far, and they can't recover. So there's a sweet spot, and you got to find your sweet spot, and ultimately that will immediately enhance your velocity. And also, it's going to motivate you to get in the weight room and build that sweet spot where you can get more flexion into your extension. So that's a great velocity quick tip for you guys, and I really think that's something that y'all could implement today and see more about miles per hour tomorrow. So, all right.